Welcome back. Today I want to talk a little bit about this idea of uncertainty and ambiguity. Dr. Siebert, in his quiz, he asked the question, during uncertain times, can you deal with that kind of uncertainty, or does it shut you down? What he discovered in our resiliency is learning to deal with ambiguity or things that we just don't understand. He suggested that when we're in resiliency, we have the capacity to say, I don't know the answer, but I know that we will figure it out, that I will figure it out. Again, I don't know how, but historically, that's what we've done as human beings. We've figured out how to be resilient. We figured out how to deal with uncertainty. And so at this time, I'm going to suggest to you that ask yourself the question, can I deal with the ambiguity? I don't know the outcome, but do I believe it will be okay? That's one of the skills of resiliency, is stepping back and saying, I don't know the answer, but we'll figure it out. I hope that as you go through this crisis, and as we all go through this crisis, that we'll recognize that this too will pass. Resilient people, that's what they figured out. Even some of the most difficult, stressful times, they recognized that, you know what, this is going to end. One of my favorite stories with that is actually Dr. James Stockdale. He was a fighter pilot in the Vietnam War. He was also Ross Perot's running mate, VP running mate back in the 90s. And he said something quite profound when he was a prisoner of war in the Hanoi Hilton in Vietnam. He said that as a group of people, he observed that those who were resilient came to realize that there weren't answers. They really didn't know the answer, but what they did know is that if they held on long enough, that they would eventually be freed. Now, he was in there for nearly 7 years, and he endured a lot of difficulties, but he never quit. He wasn't overly optimistic and blind to the fact that it was hard, and he wasn't pessimistic and gave up hope. It's what they call being a realist. We're going to get through this. We'll figure out how. My hope is that you recognize that we will get through this, and in truth, if we can do that, we'll be better off for it. Anyway, my hope is that we can deal with ambiguity and the chaos and realize that it's going to be okay, even though we don't know the answers. Anyway, I appreciate you spending this time with me, and I'll see you again soon.